AD, right before we came on the air, we got a text in from Bubba.
Oh, and I already know what this is going to say.
I could not stop from laughing.
Oh man, I'm looking at it right now.
Bubba got on me earlier.
Bubba? Oh man, Bubba, man, did somebody slip something in your Kool-Aid and your chips this morning, man, and your breakfast? He came out firing. Bubba came out firing. We can't even read that on here.
Bubba Jr. even said, "Shut up, Nick."
Bubba Jr.
Maybe Bubba Jr. should find a new team to cheer for.
There's some beeps in that message. Beep 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 beep.
AD Raff. Boop, 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 boop. Shut up, Nick.
Hey, well, guess what?
You're just proud of your Lions.
Yeah, here's the deal. Like,
your Lions.
Yeah, I understand. I've only been, I think I'm actually going to stick with. I will say, like last night, I was sitting there watching the Lions-Packers game, and this is my first time I've actually
watched the Lions play.
truly had an NFL team to cheer for.
Yeah,
like I always I don't want to say hung on to the Chiefs just because they were the closest team, but I was like, it's actually pretty enjoyable to have a team that I'm invested in, have been for, yes, only a year, but am invested in for a year.
Well, you started at the beginning of the year. It wasn't like they...
Exactly. Yeah. It wasn't like they started winning and I came back.
I was looking at you crazy. I'm like, what?
People call me an idiot multiple times, but here, I mean, more importantly, more specifically, just for putting them at over 6.5 wins this season.
Mm-hmm.
But here they were last night, and I sat there like, this is enjoyable to be having something on the line here. So I think I'm going to stick with the Lions.
If you're a Packer fan this morning, you got to be sick.
Speaking of Packer fans,
you got to be sick. I mean, you literally got to be sick to your stomach because that game, if you just win, you're going to the playoffs. You're at home.
Yeah.
You are this was 2 years ago when San Francisco did the same thing to them. You guys remember last week, I was bringing this up. I said, if they lose this game, and I told you, I was not writing them out. Yeah. I kept saying, I said, fellas, this game is a scary game. And LaFleur, what's their head coach's name? LaFleur?
Matt LaFleur.
I said, fellas, I'm not saying he's safe. He's the environment. I'm simply saying, he loses this game. The GM is going to have some questions. He's going to have answer some questions. And LaFleur is as well. You don't lose this game. And they did it 2 years ago with San Francisco.
Well, also, too, they're going to have more than just those questions to answer because it looks like number 12
is Roger Stan.
Might be riding off into that Lambeau sunset.
Is Roger Stan.
It was pretty emotional after last night's game.
Nyla, I know you probably hate Nick today.
No, there's no probably about that.
I hate him today.
I hate
it. Okay.
She also texted in at 6:18 a.m. that I didn't see this on early break. Oh, the first person I want to hear the first thing this morning is Nick's voice. Guess what? You'll hear that voice from 6 to 8 a.m. until next Tuesday.
Yeah. You're going to hear from 6 to 10 a.m.
6 to 10 a.m.
And then a little break and you'll be back on again.
Yeah, see, here's the deal, Bubba. I mean, he goes, it's enjoyable when you pick the first damn year that they're above 500. I don't want to hear you not talk about them when they start going 3 or 4 or 5 wins a year. Yeah. That's true.
But I think as long as Campbell's there, I don't see that happening for a while.
Listen to this sentence.
He's got him pointed.
Jared Goff beat the Packers in the final week of the season
in Green Bay
on primetime at Lambeau.
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
And Jamal Williams.
That interview.
I should pull that. I don't want to make fun of it because he was shouting out his
it was just the switch.
But just the flip of a switch from sentiment and crying and just completely 180 to we all dog up in here. We dog.
Don't let this crying fool.
Yeah.
I was like, I understand the switch, but it was like 180. Boom.
It was instant.
It was pretty quick.
It was instant.
It was fast.
But then
I should pull that up.
Yeah, we'll have to pull that up. And when you're going through a game like that where really no one gave you a shot, really. Because what was the spread on that game, Nick? Do you know?
5.5.
Yeah,
5.5.
It wasn't.
So it wasn't over. It wasn't crazy.
No.
But this is going to be a very, very, very long off season for Green Bay.
Oh, and you've got so much stuff too with them. Like, they really don't know. You have Jordan Love going into his 4th year next year.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you have, and you've got to decide. I believe it's this summer whether you're going to give him his 5th year option. which that ends up being over $20 million. So you've got a lot of decisions at hand, because I'm not sure if, and Rodgers, to be fair to the organization, can't really drag his feet like last year, because they have that option decision on his 5th-year option.
Here's Jamal Williams's snippet of his post-game interview. It's 20 seconds long.
Oh, that's all right.
And just listen to the flip of the switch here. Just the switch. Hold on, one more time.
We all dogs around this mug.
Just stuff. I mean, he had full tears coming down his face, and I'm just like,
flipped it.
I'm like, he's so emotional right now, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, and he just got really emotional right now. But it was quite the interview.
You know, that was almost an Oscar. And I'm not saying it wasn't legit, but just how, like you said, how he just switched so fast, like a light switch. Just click, click. We dogs around here. We the Detroit Lions.
I don't even watch TV, but I saw everybody was picking the Packers over us, but we're the Detroit Lions.
They got her done.
Hey, for that victory, that man can say what he wants to say. He can switch from crying to dog and heartbeat, because they went into Lambeau and literally took the Green Bay Packers out of the playoffs. Lambeau, I think about this. Green Bay had everything to play for. All the stars line up. You're at home. Mm-hmm. It's going to be it's a night game, prime time. It's cold. You win, you're in. Yeah. You win, you're in.
And then the masterful coaching, just Campbell.
Oh, Campbell, man.
Like he told me, either we're going to the playoffs or they're not.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was the greatest thing. At the end of the first quarter of the interview with NBC, he was like, well, we don't want them to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just completely I'm blanking on the sideline reporter's name. Because it's not Michelle.
I can see her name.
It's not Michelle anymore.
Yeah. Blonde chick, I believe.
Yeah, but anyway, so it was funny though, because she's like, listen, you were 40 minutes before the game, you were eliminated from the playoffs. What's the mentality? He's like, well, we don't want them to go. We don't want them to go to the playoffs.
You know what, Sanderson? I appreciate that, because you give Nick the props he deserves. Lots of idiots on Twitter who picked the Lions for 5-week wins look like fools now. Who cares what the Lions have done? Nick was talking about this year. Well done, brother. And that's
Shout out
true.
to the Detroit Lions.
Nick,
Rico put 9 wins up on the board.
Yeah, Rico, you got to do it, man.
Get your hands on my PB&J, man. Put 9 wins on the board.
Yeah, and
unknown
texter also says 9259. The Packers had a lot of guys back from injuries also. Yeah, they did, man.
Here's the difference in between two franchises. All right, guys. Did you watch the Rams-Seahawks game at all?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the game, DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey were getting into it. Pete Carroll calls DK over, sets him straight, be like, hey, man, listen, there's bigger things in play than you and Jalen Ramsey going at it.
We were watching both, actually, at that time.
Then there's the difference with Quay Walker and the Packers. Quay Walker does something as childish.
And he's done it before.
Done it before.
He's done it before.
Where he shoves an athletic trainer, gets booted, and LaFleur's over there 8 or 9, 10 times going, be smart, be smart, be smart. Yeah. But Quay Walker is just doing his own thing.
And then the thing about that
it's just the difference in franchise.
If it would have happened probably any other week, maybe he doesn't get kicked out of the game. They don't make a big deal of it, but being the week that we were in, so much, love, affection, just how much it went, the athletic training staff that went in, last Sunday night. I was just like, you've got to throw him out.
Raff, in my opinion, anytime you put your hand on someone, you kick them out. I don't care who it is.
There's been things this year, like Jerry Jeudy should have been thrown out of the game earlier this year
for the helmet
when he pushed a ref or whatever. Probably Jefferson should have been thrown out after he kind of went helmet down on the referee when he was upset about not catching footballs.
Right.
But yeah, that's just, that's like,
I thought that was a horrible decision on his part to do that. I know that you heat of the battle, But you're gonna really put your hands on a medical personnel or athletic personnel. What is that gonna do? And for my thing, this is guy doesn't have a bit of equipment on.
No. Well, my thing is also, why do you need to be within the medical?
Yeah, what are you doing over there in the first place?
What are you doing? It's not your teammate.
Right.
It's not even your.
The
team.
one thing that
I get there's a brotherhood. I get it. With the NFL, I get there's a brotherhood, but why are you so concerned about being within the small group or small circle of
and they're trying to take care of someone
guy, and then you shove the dude? So,
yeah.
What's up,
all
Rico?
right.
Final lines.
Oh, final lines for
final
the
lines.
Jay Foreman set his line at 12-5 for the Bills. They finished 13-3.
Good line, Jay. Good line.
Nathan Brennan sits his Colts at over 9.5.
Who's that?
Yeah, Nate's dead to us.
Oh, 4-12-1. Not even close.
He said, what did he say to that?
9.5.
And they finished with 4 wins.
4-12-1.
Okay.
Wow.
Nick Sainert, 6.5. 9-8.
There it is.
VJ, New York Giants, over 8.5. 9-7-1.
Yeah.
Got her done.
My Falcons, I said it at 7.5. 7-10. So close. And Jake's Dolphins, although they make the playoffs and he's very happy, he did not hit. He had it over 9.5. They finished 9-8.
Don't forget they were 8-3
They
or
were
whatever, right?
They were 8-3. They were on 8 wins for what felt like 12 weeks.
Yes, it did.
Your Steelers won, although they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations.
Oh, we're gonna talk more about them when we come back.
Are you going to talk about the terrible choice in celebration?
Yeah, that was. You know what? I think that was definitely tone deaf.
Yeah,
that was definitely tone deaf. And I think the moment they did it, they were like, okay, that was probably not the best.
Yeah, after they did it, they probably went to the sideline. They're like, yeah, probably shouldn't have
done
that.
Probably shouldn't have done that. They just had to try to get up. Maybe nobody saw it.
Yeah, we saw
ripping Deshaun Watson's
head off,
which I don't have a problem with.
However,
me either.
The Bengals celebration, was amazing.
Perfect.
And the guy who requested it the night before, Chad Johnson, tweeted out and said, if the organization and you guys love me as much as you say you do, you should bring the coin to the field. And they will be getting fined, but
that's awesome.
They did the celebration.
Ocho Cinco pay it.